What's up, you guys? I don't know if anybody can hear me. Aquaballs, hello. I know there's usually quite a bit of a delay, so. Hello, hello. If you guys can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Um, I'm a bit rusty with all of this live. Suppose it's like riding a bike, huh? Feeding fish room sounds good, right on. Yeah, hopefully audio and video should be good. I'm literally, the router's right behind this brick wall, so. Just wanted to pop in here for a little bit, just waiting for the kiddos to get back from school. And I popped on here, I don't know, it was a while back. No topic, obviously. Just like I said, just hanging out. Had a little bit of time, so figured I would pop on here. Depths unknown, hello. I saw Gary Lang yesterday and got some rainbow fish eggs right on. Misbreeding rainbow fish. Bred many, many. So if anybody wasn't aware, I don't recall the last time I did a live on here, if I addressed that or not. However, I don't believe I did. But anybody that follows us on any social media platform, essentially the only ones that were really ever on was Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. With that being said, went ahead and just made the announcement on there a few weeks back regarding Sergeant Tank LLC that we had to make the unfortunate decision to go ahead and shut everything down. So as most are probably aware at this point, that have been following this for any period of time, we moved almost a year ago now from Michigan down to Alabama. And it just, with family life and everything going on, fortunately, like I said, I had to make that decision. Something that will always hold near and dear to me. I spent many, many years in the hobby ever since I was a child, and let alone from a business standpoint, taking it from a hobby to a business, in supplying all across the country for a very long time. Um, and yeah, I definitely miss it. I still get the itch. It's not that I will ever be out of fish keeping, don't get me wrong. We still have aquariums here, but basically everything is ready. All I really have to do is fill tanks. Ran the air, did all this actually back last August. And then life just got caught up. You know, we have kids now ranging from 7 years old to almost 18. And as you guys can imagine, with school involvement and that sort of thing, change of scenery, change of school districts, a lot changes, which I'm happy to see. And of course, anybody that knows that has kids, our number one priority is to ensure right now is their time, it's their youth, and we're just trying to pour into them and give them the opportunity to take advantage of whatever opportunities may be down here for them from that standpoint. So hopefully that makes sense. What I kind of wanted to do is pop on here today. Again, thank you. I know there's typically a bit of a lag in the chat, so as I see it pop up, I'll definitely give those folks a shout out here there in the chat. So I definitely appreciate it. And with that being said, kind of what I want to talk about today is get your guys' feedback. I don't really want to see, of course, I haven't removed any of the content, and I'm not going to remove any of the content. We haven't been monetized here on the platform for about 3 years now, and that's due to the inactivity. It has nothing to do with you guys. All it has to do with us and our involvement here on YouTube. And again, with the move, and I'm not going to go through all that again. I addressed that on the last live stream or two. So Candy Overhauls, hello. I hope you and the little man are doing well. It's been a very long time. Thank you so much for popping in. I really do hope that you guys are doing well. Definitely miss interacting and seeing many of you who have been following this journey for many years now. Long time no see. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for popping in. Daryl Deemer, hello. Thank you so much for chiming in. So I hope everybody has just been well, with everything that everybody has been dealing with in the craziness of the world. Caleb and I are well in Washington. That's great to hear. I don't spend a whole lot of time via most socials. I just keep the accounts there in case I need to reach out to anybody or that sort of thing. But in all honesty, I don't really spend too much time. So I know I'm probably way behind in just about everything from a fish keeping point of view. Over these last few years, interest from a hobbyist point of view, and let's put Sergeant Tank aside, from a hobbyist point of view, has rekindled a lot of old hobbies I used to be into back in my younger days and that sort of thing, and really have been enjoying that. Obviously, now that we have acreage, essentially just slow but sure turning essentially into a homestead. That's one of the big reasons why we moved. Change of scenery, having the land, we're loving it. It's been absolutely beautiful, we're really enjoying it. So kind of being more out in the country, and still have great neighbors and that sort of thing. But again, there's that distance piece that was lacking, of course, up in Michigan, that we just didn't have the opportunities. We wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing now. Let's just put it that way. We're definitely enjoying it. Let's see. Going good here from India. Hobby going strong. Starting a new hobby also. Right on. Glad to hear. Eric Wyrock says hello, everyone. Thanks so much for chiming in. We got Q Aquatics and Exotics. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for chiming in. Hope you have been doing well. So right now I'm just running my 125. That's 125 gallon aquarium. Just essentially a lot of just mix in there from the move. So I'm still maintaining. I mean, you're talking multiple generations of things I've spawned and provided over the years. So I'm still maintaining bloodline. So if I decide to ever start breeding some stuff, I do have that. And of course, I have a ton of resources that I'm able to reach out to. Past couple of days, it has a couple of things. What has kind of got me think about even getting back into fish breeding. The only thing I'm breeding right now, and that's not even me doing any work. That's just sitting and forgetting it. That is my peacock gudgeons, which I've provided hundreds of those. I literally have spawned thousands. If you guys want to know anybody that hasn't been following this, I encourage you, and not just trying to plug myself. There is resources out there. I have put out articles, spent a lot of time writing. I hold that, and I pride myself into that. There's a lot of articles I had wrote for to try to make them very um, streamlined, and I guess pretty straightforward, where essentially just about anybody could look at it, whether if you've been in the hobby for 50 years or if you've been in it for a year, where you can really hopefully absorb and digest the information. That source is my old club, which is up in Michigan. That's a Grand Valley Aquarium Club. So it shouldn't have changed. That is the Grand Valley Aquarium Club.org, or if you just Google Grand Valley Aquarium Club, and then you'll have to kind of navigate your way through it. And you can go back from the past few years and look at some of those articles. Should be still there. Unfortunately, of course, because of us dissolving the business up north and not reintroducing it, it just wasn't economically sound for me to continue a website without having some return on investment. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. So I did go ahead and shut down that as well. So there is no products. There's not even Sergeant Tank merchandise. At some point in the future, I'm sure we will reintroduce something. So if anybody still wants to obtain the quote unquote swag, then you could still have that opportunity to do that at some point. It's just not a priority right now for us to reintroduce that. As far as shipping of livestock and that sort of stuff, I don't honestly ever foresee that taking place. Not at all in the foreseeable future. It was a ton of work. I'd never had a life. It was me. I'm not getting any younger. Like I said, we have kids ranging from 7 to almost 18. And anybody that knows, not only when you're running a fish room, we were running over 175 systems at one point, and I'm one person. And it took away a lot of time and just energy, in all honesty. I just got super burned out with it. But going back to my point, so I don't get on another rabbit trail, last night, my youngest, who is now, he'll be 8 in August, he had brought up interest of wanting an aquarium in his room. So, of course, that got me thinking, and of course, that may be what rekindles me to even get back into doing any sort of breeding. So, like I said, right now, just set it and forget it systems, no intentions of breeding. It's just because I've conditioned them so much over the years, they're now used to it, where they can cohabitate, and essentially you're still going to get yields of offspring without being depleted as far as cannibalism and that sort of thing. Is my peacock gudgeons, and then my multis, my shell dwellers. So, other than that, I mean, like I said, we have a 40 long, 240 longs that we're running, a 15-gallon cube, and then a 125, and then I have a 300-gallon stock. Other than that, nothing else. So, if you guys are in or around Alabama, central Alabama, you guys can figure out a way to get a hold of me, either through Sergeant Tank on Facebook, through Instagram. Just shoot me a message, and there is some aquariums that I am going to be selling. Basically just some 10s, some 2.5s. I have a couple of 20 longs, I think, left. And then I'm going to be maintaining my 40 longs. Those are something anybody that knows me well enough. I've been maintaining for a lot of years. I've been collecting those over the years. Those are a bit harder to come by. Kind of remind you of like a 33 long. You just can't walk into like a fish store and really obtain those. They're more of a special order type situation. So other than that, basically everything else we're getting rid of. I think I have 140 breeder left. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to that one or not. Those we all know we can go and get them pretty easily. But yeah, so other than that, I mean, like I said, you can check back at previous couple live streams that we did here since the move. Kind of explain more about the move and that sort of stuff. But figure out to hop on here while we're waiting for the kids to get back from school, and yeah, just hang out for a little bit. We got Mike Fish Ain't Burn in the house. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Battery low, nice to see you again. Talk to you later. Happy to see you as well. Thanks so much. Let's see. All right. I think I'm caught up. How's your health and everything, man? It's going all right. As most know, my backstory, they've been following me for any period of time very, very quickly. I do have permanent nerve damage, multiple different neuropathic conditions. It's doing okay. Sinus, I went through sinus surgery back in July of 2021, and that has allowed me to breathe a little bit better. However, I'm still dealing with other issues. I have thoracic outlet syndrome, which I've been dealing with for many years, as you can see right behind me there. I built that just utilizing some scrap material that the previous owners here left behind. So I used to be big into arm wrestling competitions. I miss doing it. Never know. You may see me back on the table someday. That is my hope once I can figure this out. I used to be very, very good at it, and I miss it wholeheartedly. But I'm very heavily active, not putting out content, but I'm active in chat and that sort of stuff when it comes to social media in the arm wrestling world. So anybody that follows any sort of arm wrestling related stuff, probably the most people are like, arm wrestling, what is that? Yeah, it's something I grew up doing pretty much right out of the womb, it seems like. Doing well, man. Been busy, volleyball daughter, yep. I hear you there, which I'm glad to see the kids now getting the opportunity to be more engaged in the school district, and just everything else that goes along with it. Frank Dominguez in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Look at that beard. Yep, it's getting there. It's about 8 or 9 inches from the chin down. So I'll be growing it out. Been growing it since November of 21. So whether they say like 4 to 6 inches a year on average, give or take. It's something I've been wanting to do for years. This is going to be cut on Wednesday. My mother-in-law she's been a beautician for like 30 years, so she used to do my hair before. Most of you guys know I used to just shave it. I would just do it myself. But the last about year and a half or so, a couple of years, I've been growing it out. I miss, styling it, but it's getting long, so getting that cut Wednesday. I found somebody here that has been finally catching on to that style. Any clubs around you and their location? That's a great question. Unfortunately, it really is not. No. Even if there was, Susan, we call her Mama Susan, Grandma Susan for our kids. Susan with SLC Aquatics. She's just out, anybody that has been following in the community is probably aware of Susan. Definitely check her out. I believe that she's still doing live streams. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that she's still doing live streams every week. Probably more than once a week. And then she's about 40 minutes or so south of us. I know at some point, I believe that we're still trying to, due to weather a while back, if you follow her page, which I encourage you to do it, she would be the one that would definitely be more aware of clubs in the area. I just know for me, I probably wouldn't even honestly get involved in a club right now, just because we're just too busy. Fisherman Mom's still doing her thing. Awesome. So yeah, we met up with Susan, her husband, my wife and I. Oh, we had some lunch not too long ago, maybe like a month and a half ago. But happy to see everything's getting better. Maybe we'll talk later. Beautiful beard. Phone's going out. Right on. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. And then I've been tossing around the idea of do I set up some vats? Um, I mean, that was the intention. A lot of stuff changed. Our desires just kind of changed after the move. So, let's see. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, by all means, feel free. I'm probably a little rusty, but like I said, the content is out there. If you can bear through probably majority of the horrible audio and video, especially from the beginning when I started putting out content on YouTube, hopefully the information is there. I know people are staging, which is good to see. Um, like I said, it's not a moneymaker, but why would I take it down? It wouldn't make any sense. The memories are there. Um, and yeah, so the information hopefully would be there for you guys. I do once in a while we'll go in the creator studio and just see, make sure that there isn't like any comments or something. I still somewhat once in a while will just pop in there and just make sure that there's not anything in specific that I can address. One of my clubs had a speaker from Alabama several years ago. Amazing native fish in the state. Yes, there are. Absolutely. Yep. Haven't even had an opportunity to even get out and even start exploring it. And that's one thing I miss doing too. Um, I've always been a person that enjoys educating. I just have done it for so many years in my previous profession. Um, there's a lot of stuff I miss doing that goes along with it. Definitely, I miss the engagement of clubs and that sort of thing. But definitely miss speaking um, regarding clubs, speaking at the clubs. But yeah. Hello to the dirty, dirty South. Well, hello. Yesterday at the club, we're fighting over Gary Lang rainbow eggs. Someone well over 150. Yeah, that was another fun thing. A buddy of mine, buddy of I and my, back when I was up in Michigan through our club, several years back, we used to go back and forth. Um, I miss the auction aspect of it. That was not running the auctions. I've been there, did that for a long time, held multiple different positions. Because it took away, obviously, when you're running it, takes away your focus from it. So it's hard to engage. But just sitting back and be able to actually bid and that sort of thing, it was good times. We got Matt in the house, Dank Tanks, yo yo yo. How you doing, my friend? Pay, I'd pay a few hundred for some. Come on, oh boy, bear with me. This jumping thing drives me nuts. Wow, I don't know how people do it now. They have like 1,000 people in their chat. I'm getting back to it. There isn't that many comments. Come on, Jerome, you can do it. Um, all right, I think I got it. I'd pay a few $100s for some Terranados eggs right about now. Maybe not rainbows. All right. I ran my Homes Club auction April 22nd, right? 800 lots, lasted about 7 hours. Yep. I remember those days. We have one of the largest, well, up in Michigan, Grand Valley Aquarium Club, one of the largest clubs in the U.S. We would average on the low end about 1,200 bags at one of our larger auctions, and even at what we would classify back then the not so mini auction. So after every monthly club meeting, we would also hold an auction, and I'm not even teasing, not even joking on this. We would have some bags that would come through. We would have over 100 bags just at what we would call, that's what we call not so mini auction. So it got a little crazy there, but especially the annual, the larger, where people travel from all around the country, the big auctions. So like your spring auction and your fall auction. Um, yeah, we would average about 1,200 bags. Uh, Fish Tank Barn. I'm stepping away from being treasurer this year. I got tired of sitting there all day, still staying involved with the club as a VP. Right on. Yep, I hear you, Mike. You know, you know what I used to do. So I think I hear the bus. We got the first round coming through. North Jersey gets about 100 lots. Right on. Per meeting. Yep. That's just at your normal meetings. Yeah, that's a decent bit there. And people don't realize, I mean, the amount of work that goes into that. Um, I mean, I had that club ran right from my phone. You know, took that club and was able to turn it within just a very short period of time. Literally, I could pull everything up on my phone. Let's see. The last auction, I think, was about 700 lots, 1,200 before COVID. Yep. I know COVID definitely depleted. I'm sure for many of the clubs. I just seen a lot of my own close friends and stuff like that. Slowly kind of just get away. With that whole fiasco and everything else. And I'm not diminishing. I've had it myself 5 different times. And you're talking with somebody who has had a history of upper respiratory issues from pneumonia to bronchitis multiple times. Almost died when I was 2. So I get it. I know it's no joke. Definitely something different about it, that's for sure. But with that being said, my heart goes out to anybody who had gone through it, or family, friends, worst case scenario, anybody that lost their life over it. Definitely, um, yeah, it's no good. But with that being said, I mean, I know just from probably for a lot of people's mental health, the interaction. I mean, our club, especially coming from a state like Michigan, everything. We're one of the worst states as far as lockdowns and all of that stuff. Don't know about now how everything is, but yeah. So I know for myself, it definitely took away a bit of desire. Just with that lack of engagement, of actual in-person engagement. We all know most clubs end up going virtual at one point or another. Same thing with bringing on guest speakers, and then you'd have to deal with either Zoom or some sort of technology to try to get people engaged. And you just don't get that same interaction. So, Aquatic Nest, so nice to see you. Hope you and the family are doing well. Before he got COVID, let's see. Rosario Lacorte was still running his fish room. He would bring fish. Dr. Lazelle still does. Right on. Glad to hear. Wonder if we can find. Let's see. Let's take a little walk around. And get up and stretch. Let's look and see if we can find in a knoll. Maybe a rattlesnake. We've only so far encountered one copperhead. Let's just say, unfortunately, had to eliminate that guy last year. But they're a dang beautiful species. And I don't like to do it. But yeah, where we're at, we're very prone for rattlesnakes and especially copperheads. So right now I can show you real quick. So this is temporary. So I just moved our turtles. So anybody that's been following, we got 3 red ear sliders and 1 terrapin. So I'm going to be making their enclosure a lot nicer than that. Like I said, still dealing a lot of upgrades and renovations in that. So anybody that knows Alabama, just with humidity and heat, trying to focus on things out here before it starts getting warmer. We're already close to the 90s now where we're at. I'll show you guys now. So one of the things I wanted to mention is regarding other type of content. Don't be surprised if Sergeant Tank ends up going more of a hybrid of other stuff. Like I said, this is something that let's see if we can get one of our females here. I think most adults have gone crazy now when it comes to chickens. I tease with my wife. I was like, just give it like 10 years and we're going to end up seeing just free roaming chickens all over the place. It'll be like squirrels. Only teasing, of course. Hopefully that never gets to that point. But, so yeah, we're doing chickens now, then eventually we'll be adding more livestock. She won't let me come by right now. Oh, that's a cute crow. One of our Polish. We'll be getting rid of the roosters eventually here. But let's see. What? You guys are yappy. I can show you these cute guys. There's some of our younger silkies. All right. But yeah, my point to that is, let me get away from them so you can actually hear me. Let's see here. is eventually taking the channel and doing more, but kind of back to what I used to do a little bit back on YouTube, as far as like do-it-yourself projects and that sort of thing. Is to start showing you guys, because again, I'm all about, because of my background. First of all, some of you may be aware, I spent many years in building trades. I grew up around all things trade related. You name it, been there, done it, still do it. So, and there's just a lot of stuff that I've seen over the years, especially now with the popularity of YouTube. And I'm like, just scratching my head, like, oh my goodness, you could do it way more efficient than that, way more cost effective. If that is something of interest, let me know. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, even after this uploads. And if there's anything in specific that you guys would like to see. That could be chicken coops. It could be auto rain barrel systems. You name it. Just about anything. I may end up. Of course, it's going to probably lose the interest for most anybody that follows Sergeant Tank. I'm not going to start another channel. That would just be kind of foolish. But let's see here. Let's go back. Still keeping lots of fish. Yeah, so very long story short, of course, with the move, but we've been in here about a year now, moved from Michigan to Alabama. I lost quite a bit of stock, unfortunately, in that process. You got to keep in mind, again, it's one of those things. I have just about every loophole, not loophole, but every variable that you can think of, where you're literally dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, ensuring redundancy, all the things I would preach about. Didn't necessarily practice what I was preaching. Our AC ended up going out, and our SUV on the way down, where I had a bunch of stock. And of course, I donated literally an entire fish room to a couple of individuals. I didn't know too well from our club, but I was in such a bind. I didn't have time to sell the stuff. I just ended up donating it, and essentially just asked them, because of course they wanted to offer. I mean, you're talking $1,000 worth of stuff. I donated some stock, lots of really some rare plants, lots of driftwood, a ton of aquariums, RO system. Didn't collect a dime. It was literally the day that we had to move. We had no choice, had to get rid of it, and I wasn't just going to throw it away. You live and you learn. I'm never going to do that again, because we're never moving again. So, not going to happen. It's a lot of work. Basically 2 years of my life there before the move. A lot of why you didn't see me makes sense probably now. I just didn't talk about it. I keep family life and personal stuff. For the most part, I just keep that away from social media. I don't feel like that's the appropriate place to be putting it. So, family, the wife, everybody is doing great. Since the move, we're definitely enjoying it down here, still getting adjusted. Still have so much to explore and to learn within the area, which we're looking forward to. So, I mean, it's completely, anybody that moves, let alone essentially cross country, knows that you're getting into new opportunities. You're essentially starting all over again, like you're an infant, learning what's around, and there's, especially down here, it's so beautiful, and there's so much to explore. With caves, I mean, literally we're right on top of caves, being right on a mountain. So yeah. But with that being said, I lost so much over the years. I mean, when it comes, it's all part of the hobby. You win some, you lose some. Unfortunately, the things I end up losing were things I bred that I never even showed on social media, that I eventually planned on using as breeders to hopefully supply those. and literally I lost everything. So when it comes to that breeder and stuff, so we're maintaining a 125. Essentially, it's a mixed community tank, various things in there, and maintaining a 300 stock, which is housing our turtles, same turtles that we've had for years. We have 240 longs running, and we have 15-gallon cube. Let's see. I'll go for a few more minutes. Here, you guys, my youngest, my 3 older kids already just got home a few minutes ago. My youngest will be getting home here in just a little bit. So I'll probably just take this live stream right up to that point. Give you guys some time if you have any other questions. Feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat. Nice to eat. Still have some fish. Sorry the move wasn't great for moving fish that far. Yeah, we spent, my wife and I, oh my goodness, basically 1 month, because I acted up there. Essentially, I mean, of course, I'm the one that does all the, I did all the renovation work to get our home up north at the top of our market. I was my own agent as far as selling, so I had to deal with all of that paperwork and everything else that goes along with it, taking all my own photographs, make sure that those are very high quality. But pat myself on the back, essentially didn't take very long at all, which I wasn't concerned about it. We timed the market just perfectly. With that being said, we're still trying to look and locate everything that met our criteria, either between Alabama or Georgia. And we spent multiple trips back and forth, and a lot of money, and a lot of time, trying to find everything within the certain criteria that we needed. With that being said, we end up finally, obviously, settling, and now finally able to adjust. Can't believe it's already been almost a year. Time definitely flies by. We got Mark Biggies in the house. How you doing, buddy? What kind of chicken soup you say you had? So yeah, we're not gonna be doing any meat birds. These are all gonna be for laying hens. The silkies we will be breeding and supplying those later on. Right now, we have a total of 34. We just actually brought in the silkies too. My youngest last week Friday, they had an event going on at his school. So the kids love that, and the teachers and stuff. Yeah, we end up bringing those guys in. Let's see. But chicken soup does sound good. And anybody that does know me well enough knows I used to be an avid hunter. So I will say, and I'm gonna say, you'll never hear me speak in absolutes or factual terms, but so far I'm gonna say with the absolute emphatic response, the deer down here, the whitetail deer, are not even close to the quality level of the deer when I used to hunt up in Michigan that I've seen so far. But again, I haven't actually gotten out in the woods, but from what I've just seen around, they are like probably not too far fetched. I would say that these deer are maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. Probably a little bit more than that, but yeah, they're just not. I mean, you're talking somebody that was born and raised in Michigan, especially if you go up to the Upper Peninsula, that sort of thing. But again, I'm out of my element. I haven't done any any extensive hunting or that sort of stuff in many, many years. So, but I'm sure anybody down here would be like, that's not true. So I like to just say things to get people riled up a little bit. Gotta have, it's all in good fun. But yeah, from the ones that we've seen around here, I wouldn't even waste my time. Oh, man. Whew. I haven't seen it yet. Usually we got skinks and the knolls there out in full effect, but of course the one time I'm live, they're not. She's getting warm out here. It is getting warm. Hopefully you guys can still hear and see. But the scenery where we're at is absolutely beautiful, especially on a sunset or sunrise. Do we need to do a live one of these times and go out storm chasing? If I miss anybody's question, please go ahead and put it back in. I don't think I have. Yeah, I know that there's a lag between the, what do you call it, the chat. I think this year we've already broke the record of the average. I don't recall. I think it's already been confirmed just for 2023 alone. We're not even into the fall and winter season of bad weather. I think there's already like 65 tornadoes already, something like that. A little bit different than Michigan, but it is what it is. I've been in, what do you want to say, weather nerd, weather enthusiast since I was a kid. So I definitely stay very, very actively involved. Also in that aspect of community engagement when it comes to following all the weather patterns. But when I was looking back, what surprised me, it didn't really even, I guess, really pique my interest when we were up in Michigan. I mean, we would have tornadoes up there, but of course nothing like down south. And having a brain fart, lost my train of thought. But I was looking back at the records of tornadoes in that Michigan, man. There was a few that are record breakers of EF5s that were actually not too far from where I grew up. And then keep in mind, this was way back in probably I don't know if it was like the 30s, between the 30s and the 50s. I don't remember the exact era, time frame. But I was a little surprised when I seen that, an EF5, let alone, actually one of them went right through where my wife grew up. Obviously, many decades prior to when she was born, but yeah, just found it a little surprising. Maybe I did. Maybe I knew that when I was younger, but let's see. Oh man. But all right, you guys. My arm, due to my numerous issues, can't really hold the phone anymore. um, so I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes here, but it's starting to go numb. We've been going decent amount. Been going for about 52 minutes now, so no complaints there. And again, I appreciate anybody that showed up. We'll give it a minute or two, just make sure I didn't miss anything. And then I'll probably pop back on. I don't know, has it been like a couple of months? Like I said before, last one I did, it'll be hit or miss when I jump on here. But definitely let me know. Typically, I just put these unlisted afterwards. I'll probably just leave this one public for a little while, and just so people can see. But with that being said, definitely let me know if you guys are interested in some of that other type of content, like I mentioned. I mean, there's a number of different stuff I can think about doing way outside of fish keeping. But so yeah, thanks so much, you guys. Great seeing everybody, and again, stay safe, stay well, and we will talk to you guys at some point in the near future.